There's so much bookwas, bullshit advice about success that's held you back. Like YouTubers telling you to just build a business and you'll be making 10K a month. Your parents telling you to go to university, get a degree, and then choose the safe path and get a career. Your friends telling you that you're too young to be worrying about success and that you should just relax a little bit more. Guess what? None of them know what they're talking about. I'm just going to lay out a simple roadmap to success for you by teaching you the most important lesson about winners. Winners do not do more things than you do. They do less. You know, the guys at the top that you look up to, the millionaires, the billionaires, the athletes. Trust me when I say they have so much less bullshit in their life than you do. They don't consume video games and porn and anime and YouTube videos like this for 4 hours straight. You think Andrew Tate or Conor McGregor is watching fucking videos like this for 3 hours a day thinking that you're being productive? Fuck no. They don't have loser Jeffrey friends who aren't on the same wavelength as them. They don't have like losers who are just spending their time watching fucking anime. The winners that you look up to often don't even spend time with their parents. I'm not saying you should be like that, but it's something you'll see consistently amongst the guys with the top performers. So there's the delta between where you are and where you want to get to. You have too much bullshit in your life that you need to start to ruthlessly subtract. That's the word I want you to keep in your brain from now on. Subtract. What can I subtract from my life so that I have less bullshit, so I can save more of my brain points, and then I can put that into my craft? The other term that I want you to think about is brain points. Brain points is a phrase that I came up with, and it works like this. Imagine you wake up and you start with 100 brain points. Everything that you do drains your brain points a little bit. The first thing you do is grab your phone, see a few notifications. Even if you didn't click on those notifications, you've just lost 10 brain points to think about like whatever's just happened, because your brain's thinking about, oh yeah, she texted me back, I'll look at that text. And my dad said something, I kind of read it a little bit, okay, whatever. You're gonna go brush your teeth, get ready for the day and stuff, and then you check like an email from school or from work or something. You've just lost another 5 brain points. Then you're deciding what you should wear. You've lost another 5 brain points. Then you go downstairs and decide which cereal to have today, because you eat like a fucking fat American child, and you've lost another 5 brain points. You've ate unhealthy food, so you've lost 25 brain points. You've got less than 50 left. And then you try and sit down to do your business work or your homework. But the big tasks that we want to do require a certain level of brain points for you to actually feel capable to do them. You know, sometimes you sit down and you feel capable to do the work and you just start breezing through it, whereas other times it's like you almost feel like too inferior to even start properly. Like you've disciplined yourself to sit down, you haven't procrastinated, and it's just like you can't do shit. It's like your brain's not working to do the work. You feel that, right? That's when your brain point is below how many you needed to go and do that task. And how often does that happen to you? Probably like a few times a week, and then a lot of the other times you've just procrastinated. That's like your biggest fucking problem right now, your inability to work, because you drain your brain points doing bullshit, random stuff like checking messages, deciding what to wear, deciding what to eat, all these little micro decisions that you make in the day, never mind the bigger ones like what to reply back to your girl because she's high maintenance and she's angry at you, or how to, you know, go on Tinder and try and find another stinky hole to fuck. All these random things that are in your life, the top performers who are destroying right now, like the guy who's your age, who's taking what you want, the guy who's your age, who's making the money that you want, he doesn't have all this bullshit in his life. He might show it to you on Instagram and be like, haha, look at me, I'm so cool, I've got girls and I've got women, I've got cars, I've got this. But in his normal day-to-day grind, he doesn't deal with any of this shit. Did you know that rich guys literally have assistants that will use their Instagram and their Tinder and Hinge and Bumble dating apps, and they'll message on behalf of the rich guy, so the rich guy doesn't even have to fucking fuck around on the apps and think about what picture to take and everything. When you've got all of this bookwas in your life, your brain is just being used up in 100 different areas, and you probably have never felt what it's like to put as much of your brain as possible into your goals just yet, because most likely you've lived kind of like a normal life. I'm telling you, like, the life of the winner, the life of the successful guy, the life of the entrepreneur, the athlete, it's so different. They've conserved as much as possible so that their brain just gets to obsess over their one goal. Your brain obsesses over 50 different goals at once. Goals that you haven't even like kind of clarified and written down because they're micro things, like keeping up a friendship with your loser friend who disrespects you, but you still keep hanging out with him. Is that relatable? You want to get to these top levels, it requires all of you. Not 50% of you once you've checked your messages through the day and you're going to go have 1 hour rest break to relax and unwind at the end of a hard day playing some video games. No. if you want to compete against the guys who are doing bits, because most people are not at the level where they're thinking about this, but you were never really wanting to compete against like the average person who doesn't really try. If you want to compete and actually win and get resources, get money, status, fame, recognition, attraction from women, you need to basically be competing against the guys who are serious. Have you ever thought about this before? Because it's easy to walk through the street, it's easy to go to school or work, see the average person and think that you're doing better than them when you're on self-improvement and you go to the gym. And truthfully, you are. Like when you go to the gym, you're basically already in like the top 10% of people, like human beings in the world, of just how well you behave and that now you're taking care of yourself. Because 80% of people don't even consistently exercise, basically subhumans. But you're not competing against those people. You're competing against the guy who's already got a six-pack, who's texting the girl that you like. You're not competing against the average person. They were never a competition for people like you. You're competing against the guy who's already got the six-pack. He's already sitting down and he's optimized what time his brain works well so that he sits down at the exact time and he breezes through the work tasks that you keep procrastinating on because you've got other things in your life that he doesn't. The competition is cutthroat. I read this in a book once and it stuck with me for so long. It said, to get into the 1%, there is no competition. There is no competition to beat 99% of people because they're literally basically like subhumans. They literally hurt themselves every single day. They'll literally poison themselves with their shitty diets. They won't even exercise. They won't even purposefully get sunlight. They literally won't even move their bodies. It's like they're getting stuck in their chairs. To beat 99% of people, it's not difficult at all. But once you get into the top 1% of performers, that's where the competition is cutthroat. That's where every guy's got a six-pack. That's where every guy knows how to flirt with a girl. That's where every guy knows how to fuck. That's where every guy's already started to grind on a business. Like you think you're special because you're the only person in your little social circle who's been thinking about business, but you haven't built that much success yet because now you're competing against other guys who feel like you. So you know how you feel like the champion in your social circle amongst your Jeffrey friends, but you haven't made that much real results in business, right? You have not been making that much money because you're not competing against your little Jeffrey friends. You're competing against the other guy who feels like the champion amongst his friends. And that other guy, he's fucking shaved his head off so that he doesn't need to get haircuts every 2 weeks. He's literally there doing ab crunches right now as we speak, and he's got a nicer six-pack than you, and you might say, oh, well, that's all vain and stuff, but it fucking helps him though, doesn't it? That's what it takes to win. It's not competing against the normies. It's competing against the Chads. It's competing against the Adonises, the guys who are doing the work. That's where the difference is. When you wake up today and you kind of skip your meditation, like I did, I'm not going to fucking lie to you. I skipped my meditation today. I feel like a fucking bitch for that. I'm glad that I've just said it because now I'm held accountable. I'm going to have to do it now because I've said it on camera. But I'm competing against the guy who meditates every day. If I didn't meditate this morning because I'm just being a little bit lazy or something, that guy's going to win against me. The competition gets more and more cutthroat. Soon it's like you're competing against the guy who's got the time to meditate for 20, 30, 40 minutes a day. What have I personally sacrificed to get to this level? I've subtracted women multiple times over the last few years. I've literally went months without talking to a girl. I've went fully months without busting a nut, which, no offense, you might find that normal. For me, it wasn't. I was, from the age of 19, I was fucking literally 5 times a week at least, if not more, 20, 25 if I had a consistent girl. Over the last few years, whilst I've been an entrepreneur, there's been times where I've literally went for months without speaking to girls at all, just so I could focus because of how much I'm distracted by women and sex. I've sacrificed friendships with people who don't align to my goals and aren't serious with life, even though if they were funny, nice people to be around. I've sacrificed fun times, smoking weed with people and, smoking weed with girls and stuff. And then because when I smoke weed with a girl, I get super fucking horny. I can last way longer. And so it's amazing because I get to have really enjoyable sex and I don't fucking do that so that I can then come and actually, not come, but I can actually focus on my business, my craft and my goals. I've sacrificed video games and movies. I always shit on video games in my videos and people think I hate them. I fucking love gaming. I literally had a gaming PC when I was 13 years old and I was playing RuneScape and GTA when I was 7 years old. I love playing video games, but I literally stopped playing them years ago because I knew that it would just sap my desire, my dopamine to be able to put into my craft, my business, my self-improvements. Sugar and junk food has been my biggest crutch of my life. That was my remedy against a traumatic household and abusive parents. I used to binge eat because it would give me a sense of comfort when I'd feel full. How deep is that, right? I gave that up. I gave my feeling of comfort from food that made me feel safe. I gave that up so that I could become a winner. It brings a fucking tear to my eye to think about how hard I've worked over these last few years. But it is not just about how hard you've worked, but about how much you've sacrificed so that your life is just streamlined. You know, recently I was just talking to my brother and I told him I want to become like a world-class entrepreneur. It's like the goal that I've set for myself. And I started to look at the world-class entrepreneurs that I really look up to. Alex Hormozi, Sam Ovens, Charlie Morgan, Alex Becker. These are people that you can go and rewind and go check their names and watch their YouTube videos because they're amazing, amazing entrepreneurs. And one thing I've noticed about all of them is that they lived very, very simple lives. They wear the same clothes without caring about it. They live either by themselves or with their wives. None of them are being like playboys, fuckboys. None of them are living in the middle of the city and doing the sort of high value man thing that I just was. I'm wearing a fucking more expensive watch than all of them would wear. And I started to look down upon myself. I was like, do I want to look cool or do I want to become fucking great at the game that I'm playing? The game is entrepreneurship. And I thought, fuck, well, yeah, like I do. So the thing that I'm personally sacrificing now, if you like care about my personal journey, is the image that I could be showing to the world of like, look at me guys, I'm young, I'm successful, I'm sexy. I could go and live in the middle of a city and go and sleep with loads of girls and that'd feel really fun. But I'm here to fucking build and become like an amazing, amazing businessman. Not just like make money, like that's like a side effect. I just want to become like a world-class entrepreneur who just understands particular things. Like I'm really interested in like business mindsets, entrepreneur psychology, like the mindset part of business so much. And I want to become amazing at that. And looking at these guys that are my role models, I've realized all of them have such simple lives because they've subtracted these like cool things that I was currently doing that was a distraction. I went to London for like a week. I stayed in like a 5-star hotel. I had literally dates like every single night. I was going out and getting wine with these like really beautiful women from like Eastern Europe. I wasn't partying, but I was with the boys and it was hype and we were drinking. They were smoking cigars. I don't smoke or anything. But you know, I was living this like vibrant social life, but I knew that that was more of a distraction to this big goal that I've got. So I subtracted that. I literally moved back to my parents' home. So I've got like a little grounded place where I'm focused and I can just go all in. And soon I'm about to do something quite extreme if I make the plan work that you'll maybe see me do soon. You want to build success? This is your action step that I want you to really take seriously. Get like a pen, piece of paper, notepad, or write it in the comments, whatever, and answer this question. What are a few things and people that I could subtract to make faster progress to my goals? The ideas have probably already come up into your mind. You know the things that have been limiting you. You know the food that you've been eating, the exact thing that you've ate that you've thinking, damn, if I didn't eat that, my brain probably would have worked better today when I was trying to work. You know the person you should probably cut out who's basically a low-life Jeffrey distraction. If you've got a girlfriend, maybe you're even thinking about her, which sounds fucking ruthless. And normal people will think that this is crazy, but I will tell you the truth. I've split up with multiple girls so that I could just come back and focus on my business because they didn't understand how much I wanted to work. And, you know, I should have set that expectation from the start, but I didn't. This is ruthless. It's like brutal. It's scary. It's psychopathic, whatever. The guys you're competing against, they're doing it. The guys who aren't part of the competition, they'll comment below and say like, what? This is crazy, how you guys should just be more humble, blah, blah, blah. Like all these fucking losers will comment. Who gives a fuck? They'll look at you and say, wait, you don't play video games? That's weird. Blah, blah. Nobody gives a fuck about the guys at the bottom of the fucking bucket, right? Nobody cares about them. You're climbing up this bucket. There's another guy climbing up this bucket as well. He's already given up the same things that you're considering right now, and he's making more progress to you. It's like a race of men. Imagine like an 800-meter race or something, and we as men all compete in this race together. All the fucking little pussies who will shout at you and say that you're being arrogant and you're being this, you're being crazy. Life isn't just about self-improvement or whatever stupid shit they say. They're all sat at the back like they're all the fat kids who are like, guys, you know, this race isn't even that important. Get fucked, fatty. The runners, me, you, and the other guys competing with us, we are fucking sprinting ahead. The guy who's on your level right now, he's running a little bit faster than you because he's already given up the things that are in your mind a little bit faster. And you're thinking that, okay, it's okay, I'll cope for a bit more, then I'll get rid of these things that, you know, Hamza's kind of spiked up in my mind. He's getting a head start on you right now. And you know, I've already said this before, you know what's at the finish line. It's everything that you wanted in life. It's your future, potential, healthy children. It's your smiling daughter. But if he gets there first and then you get to the finish line after him, all that's left is the ghost, the memories that could have been, because he'll take that woman that you wanted. That's how it works. You can say it's brutal. You can say it's misogynist. That's how life as a man works. If another man runs faster than you in this race, he will take what you want, including love, including the woman that you want, the very woman that you want will be attracted to this other guy who sacrificed and subtracted the things from his life that you're considering right now. You're thinking, oh yeah, just a few more days, I've still got all that food, I'll play a bit more of the games, I'll watch the rest of the season, and then I'll give it up. You want to get cucked by some other guy? Go ahead. Run slowly in this race. You can be like all those little kids who'll comment on my video saying, Hamza's needs to be more humble. They're all the little fat kids sat at the back. Fuck off. Be more humble. I'm sprinting ahead on this race as always, as I have been for 4 years straight. He's too arrogant. Yes, I am. If you can't keep up, get fucked, fatty. Sat at the back, like puffed up, little fatty, and he's like, oh guys, you guys are being too arrogant, you're taking this too seriously, fuck off. We know how serious this race is. You're watching this video 20 minutes in right now because you know how serious this race is. This is the race that unlocks you having children. It's the race that unlocks you having a future wife that hasn't been ran through by 50 other guys, because the slower you run in this race, the higher body count your future wife is. Think about that, fuck! Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.